Hello everybody, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to use BlueJ with JApplets. So if you don't have BlueJ installed already, go ahead and look in a link in this description for a YouTube tutorial on how to download and install BlueJ. But first things first, we'll go ahead and open up BlueJ. Once it's open, we need to create a new project. So go to Project, New Project. And we can name it whatever you want it to be. So we can name it, we'll just put this one as Homework Assignment 2. Create. Alrighty. Once that's created, go ahead and maximize it. And we need to go ahead and create our first class. So by doing that, we'll click the New Class button. We'll name our class. We'll just say Basic JApplet. And the class type needs to be selected on Applet. This is extremely important, and if you don't do this, then you're going to end up getting not what you want. So go ahead and hit OK. So as you see here now, we have a new class created. It's an applet, and it's called Basic JApplet. So once we get that going, go ahead and hit compile. Once it's compiled, you'll see the little diagonal lines went away. Now let's go ahead and run the applet. It does come with some already basic code inside of it, so let's just go ahead and run it and see what happens. When you run an applet, you're going to have a few questions. It's going to ask you how would you like to run it, and what should the height and width of the applet be. So if we generate the web page only, it's going to pop up and ask you to type in a file name, and you're just going to be able to allow you to save a .html file for the project. We don't need to do that. So we'll go ahead and run Applet. So the only other options are to run Applet in Applet Viewer and run the applet in the web browser. The Applet Viewer is a BlueJ built-in utility that allows you to basically run applets and see how they work. If you run the applet in the web browser, it'll open up your web browser like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, and it will essentially run the applet, and you can test it in more of a live scenario. So for now, we'll just run it in the Applet Viewer. The only other thing is, like I said, is the height and width. So if we want, we'll just leave it at 500 and 500. It's pixel length. So you'll see what happens with 500 and 500. So click OK. So you can see a 500 by 500 box popped up, and it's going to have, it says sample applet created by BlueJ. That's the most basic applet you can make. Alright, so let's say we want to go ahead and edit this now. The best way to edit it is just double click on it. When you double click on it, you're going to open up the IDE. The IDE is going to allow you to edit the class code. So as you can see, it came with a lot of pre-generated code. That is another reason why you want to select Applet, because it will automatically put in certain things like extends JApplet and imports the AWT and swing functions. So as you can see here, it leaves a little bit here. Write a description of the class here, put your name, version, you can put date, class, whatever, and you'll see here that it has a few things that you can kind of mess around with. A lot of this code, like start, stop, destroy, stuff like that, they don't have anything in it right now. So if you really wanted to, you could clean up a few of these things once you get the hang of how to code a little bit with Java. But for now, you can basically just go ahead and edit it and do all your homework inside of this. Alright, so let's say we're all done with our homework. We want to go ahead and upload to D2L. Well, the best way to do that is to go to Project and do Save As. So what this is going to do is it's going to take any classes that you made inside of this project, anything in this project, and save it to a folder. So we'll go ahead and we'll name that folder Homework Assignment 2. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and we'll hit save. So, whoops, looks like I already had something named that. We'll go ahead and save it as something else, Homework Assignment 3. So once that's done, you should now have a folder on your desktop called Homework Assignment 3. So we'll go ahead and open that. Alright, so now we've opened it, you can kind of see that it generated some files for us. It generated a .java file, a .class file, ctext, HTML, a BlueJ package file, and a readme.txt. So the README file is going to show you a little bit about the information on the project and BlueJ in general. The package.bluej is going to be if you wanted to open up someone else's BlueJ package, this is the file you would double click. So this clicking on this will open up this project. The .java file, it's not anything you need to worry about for now. The .ctext file isn't anything you need to worry about for now, but the .class and the .html are extremely important. The .class is the class that you made. So when we went down here and we clicked on new class and we made basic JApplet, that is what popped up. That is what created, and that is what we'll need. So as you saw, when we run this and we go to Applet Viewer, the Applet Viewer looks at that .class file and executes any code on it, and it pops it up in the screen. So the ultimate goal here is you need to get this project uploaded onto the internet wherever your teacher will be having you upload your personal web pages. So the two things you'll need is the .class, and since we don't have an Applet Viewer inside of like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, we have this .html file. So let's open that up. The .html file, it's going to have a little bit of code in here that you may or may not be used to. Basically, all it is it's going to have kind of a header text saying basic JApplet applet. It's going to have the most important part, which is this Applet code. So this Applet code is going to say, hey, we need to run an applet here. The Applet code is going to be found in this basic JApplet.class. So as you saw, we have it right here, basic JApplet.class. It's going to look inside, it's going to tell your web browser, look inside this file and execute any of the code. Then you have a couple other lines, width and height. So obviously it's going to say, but I want you to execute this lines of code within a 500 width, 500 height box. So that gives you a little bit, a little bit of flexibility with how large you would like that to be. The code base, archive, and alternative text isn't going to be for anything you need to mess with. It does have one thing that's nice about BlueJ other than JCreator is this alternative text, and this text here is going to allow the user that's running this to go ahead and say, oh well, I don't have. It's going to say your browser is ignoring the applet tag, or it's not running the applet. It's going to give some error messages there in case for whatever reason your browser can't run these files. But the only thing you really ever need to mess in here is the width and the height, is if you want to change that, or let's say you're changing the class name for some reason, you go ahead and change that too. So that's the only things you ever need to do inside of that. So when you're going to go ahead and upload this to your personal web page, only two things you need to upload are the .class and .html. Only other things you'll ever need to upload in any case is if you add, like, let's say a sound file or an image to this project, you'll need to upload those as well. When you're going ahead and upload these for the teacher on D2L, I highly recommend you just upload the whole folder. So the best way to do that is when you have a folder, you just right click it, go to send to compress zip folder. It'll create a .zip of the whole entire folder, and you can just upload that .zip to D2L. So to go over what we just learned, we learned how to create a new project, create an applet class, view that applet class and run it, and figure out which files we need to upload for our personal website and for D2L. If you have any other questions on how to use BlueJ, I highly recommend you go ahead and visit one of the tutors on your D2L forums discussion board, or go ahead and leave a comment in this video below. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.